Hi everyone and welcome to my Game Week 7 transfer plans. I wildcarded in Game Week 6 and look at the results. It was a hideous game week, 38 points on a wildcard. Definitely a wildcard from hell. Look at the red scores, only 3 players returned. Complete nightmare, need to debrief what went wrong. In fact, get in the comments and let me know if you scored higher or lower. I'll be astonished if anyone out there is lower than mine. After wildcard, you don't normally talk transfers. Your team should be set up, but believe it or not, there are a couple of transfers I need to discuss with you. One of them being the obvious one. He destroyed this game week, and why isn't he in my team? In fact, why isn't he in your team? This is not good. We need to get into the detail of why we missed this player. If this sounds good to you, drop a like and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. Starting with Sales in goal. I was hoping for a clean sheet here. Nottingham Forest have been pretty good defensively this season, and at home against Fulham, I thought there's good odds here. Unfortunately, no. Fulham got the goal. Sales 2 points up. Trent, our premium expensive defender, cannot be giving us 1 pointers. This is when you know your game week's in trouble, when he is giving you a 1 pointer. And the goal conceded was hideous. Konate tried to block the ball, leave it for Alisson, but Alisson didn't know, didn't come for it, and then Wolves latched on and got the goal. Terrible, cheap goal. Gabriel maybe more disappointing than Trent, as Arsenal, the best defense in the Premier League, Leicester, one of the weakest teams in the Premier League. Leicester scored 2 goals. Gabriel gave us a 1 pointer. We were all excited after the week before where he scored that header against City, and Arsenal's defense being so good. Arsenal's statistics for this game were pretty high on the defensive side of things. Nope, a 1 pointer. And last in the defense is Lewis. Now he played, which is the first plus, so we're very happy about that for him to be in this City team. Let's hope that continues. Played in a midfield role and did get forward. I mean, not much opportunities in this game as City's performance wasn't up to their standards. Newcastle put in a real gritty performance, and to finish things off, they got the breakaway where Gordon went round Edison. They got the penalty, which means Lewis only gets a 2 pointer. So basically the goalkeeper and defense giving us 6 points. Why is it so difficult to get defensive points? Well, it's because of clean sheets. Have a look. We only had 2 clean sheets this game week. That's outrageous. 20 teams, only 2 teams kept a clean sheet. So defensive returns, especially clean sheet returns, were very, very rare. Let's say you had someone like Robertson or Porro, you're not getting a clean sheet. There were attacking defensive returns. In fact, there was quite a lot of them this game week. So Vardio, Justin, Gehi, Kanute. So that's the only way you would have got defensive points, not via clean sheets if you was fortunate enough to have a defender who got an attacking return. Moving on to midfield. Luis Diaz. Well. Didn't I remove Jota from my team on the wildcard and put in Diaz? Diaz was meant to be the more informed player, playing really well, slot's main guy. Yeah, it wasn't to be in this fixture. Pretty painful watch that. I watched the Wolves games live. Wasn't Liverpool's best performance. I know got over the line and got the 3 points, but not much attacking opportunities for Diaz. SAKA was even more of a disappointment, mainly because Arsenal scored 4 goals and for him to get no returns. Where he did have one, they removed it. Then he had bonus points, then they removed them. I'm not quite sure what official FPL are up to, but they're playing with my heart here. They got to stop that. You can't be giving bonus points and then removing them 2 days later, and it's too much. It's got to be done on the day. Semenyo, an absolute star. He delivered on his statistics because the start of the season, he's been a revelation. His shot volume, the amount of shots he's taking per minute, it's incredible. Everything points to a successful transfer in my wildcard, and it was. Yeah, he delivered against Southampton. He was unlucky to not get more, actually. One of the goals they scored should have been an assist for him, but they took it away. And Mbumo last up in my midfield. He's been flying last couple of game weeks and scoring stunners. Absolute spectaculars. They're scoring very, very early, Brentford. I'm not quite sure what their game plan is, but it's working. He was an easy transfer in the wild card, so to be fair, 2 of the midfielders delivered. It's a 50% success rate in my midfield. Much better than the defense, which was a 100% failure. The big issue in midfield, if I'm totally honest with you, was the players we shipped out on wildcard are the players who delivered. Loads of us had Salah, Jota, Gordon, Rodgers. I mean, I still have Rodgers, but I benched him. Others benched him as well. Some were fortunate and played him, and they've come back to hurt us. I'm not even mentioning Palmer because that one's too painful. We're going to discuss that in a bit more detail later on. But this can happen. With Salah was too expensive. If you're not captaining him, why would he be in your team? Jota looked potentially more of a minute risk than Diaz, and Diaz on that hot streak getting all the goals in the early part of the season. Well, that backfired because Jota got the 2 assists and Diaz got nothing. Gordon was stinking up everyone's team. Newcastle weren't playing well. Not a lot of us saw that performance against City. He played up front and guess what? Rewarded with a goal. Rodgers, the best budget midfielder in the game. I don't think anyone disputes that. Aston Villa are an incredible team, challenging for top 4, and he's playing the minutes. So it's all good. Only issue is now, after wildcard, my squad is excellent and I'm struggling to get him into the starting 11. So I benched him, and yes, he scores. Let me know if you started or benched him. Up front, wasn't as bad as the defense, wasn't as good as the midfield. We had one return. Now Havertz, very fortunate to return right at the end. I was thinking, I've got 3 Arsenal players and I'm going to have no returns from a team that scored 4 goals. Fortunately for me, he returned in the last minute. I was very happy about that. This team could have been even worse this week. Haaland finally blanks. I can't believe it. Put my captaincy on him. I was assured. I didn't care. I thought Newcastle were in trouble. They're not playing well this season. City, they're not going to let them get away with it. Even though it was the early kickoff, even though it was away, it doesn't matter. I thought Haaland would get at least 1 goal. Well, not in this case here. So that was a blank. I mean, Haaland blanking is quite rare. Have a look at him this season. 7, 17, 17, 13, 9. And finally, it drops to 2 points. So we can't be too upset, but it did shock me. We're so conditioned now. Since the start of the season, he's just been smashing in goals. And versus Newcastle, it's not like he didn't do nothing or hardly touch the ball. 5 shots, XG of 0.45, XA of 0.10, and 90 minutes. So all the statistics were there for us. He just couldn't get the quality of shot needed to break through. And last but not least, this looks disturbing, especially as I've got Rodgers on the bench. Calvert-Lewin stinking up the place of a 1-pointer. Now, I did say he's purely a fixture punt. Normally, you wouldn't go near an Everton attacker. Or having said that, McNeil, the midfielder, scored stunners and look at his points. So just a bit unlucky there. We're hoping in the upcoming fixtures he can still deliver us points. The bench, as you can see, all doomed apart from Rodgers. The first transfer I want to discuss, yes, it's Cole Palmer. I know what you're thinking. I only want to talk about him because he smashed in 4 goals. Well, it's not the case. Fact of the matter is, I was on a wild card. I had opportunity to bring in any player I wanted, and I went with SAKA instead of Palmer. That decision looks foolish now when you see Palmer scored 4 goals. The reality is, before the deadline, before we committed to our wildcards, no one expected that. I, for one, did not expect this result. Maybe I've overestimated Brighton's defence. Clearly, it's nowhere near as good as I thought it would be. That high line, that back four is not designed to play in that style. I can tell you that now. And if they carry on playing like that against certain teams, they're going to get a couple of more big beatings. But Palmer, he delivered. 25 points. That's an unreal. It's a season-defining return, that is. I mean, especially if you captained him. 4 goals, 3 bonus points, 7 shots. To think he could have had more points because he hit post and he had a goal disallowed. I mean, an incredible game week. Look at the XG, 2.41 and XA of 0.62. Just a monumental game week, which makes my decision of going SAKA seem very stupid. But if you think about it, before the deadline, before we committed our wildcards, there was reason behind it. Now, why did I go SAKA instead of Palmer? First and foremost, the fixtures. When you look at the fixtures as a 3, Brighton, Nottingham Forest and Liverpool for Chelsea, compared to Leicester at home, Southampton at home, Bournemouth away. I think we all agree the fixtures are far superior for Arsenal, especially its 2 home games at the Emirates. The second thing as well we have to discuss is Arsenal a far superior team. Arsenal are challenging for the league. In fact, quite a lot of people make them favourites, especially since Rodri's got injured, to win the Premier League. Chelsea are improving, but they're clearly not Arsenal's level. So that's another tick for SAKA. And when we looked at the predicted points, SAKA was winning there as well. It was predicted 6.8, 7.4, 5.12 compared to Palmer's predicted points. So there was ticks all over the place for SAKA, which made me think, and it made quite a lot of you think, it is the sensible decision. But I do need to highlight something, and it's been with me since last season. I've never looked at SAKA as a super explosive player. I look at him as a player. He returns 6 to 9 points every week, super consistent, which isn't a bad thing. So it's a super consistent player, but I never see him explosive like this guy. Palmer looks that type of player that wants to smash goals and break the records. He wants those numbers. When you see SAKA, you see a player, he gives away penalties, he's happy as long as his team wins. Nothing's wrong with that again, but you get certain players, Salah's one of those that even if his team win 4-0, he'll be fuming if he hasn't scored. There's just some players are built like that, and maybe Palmer's one of those. I mean, you just have to look at this season. It's early days, only 6 game weeks gone, but Palmer's already given us a 25-pointer and a 17-pointer. SAKA, a 12-pointer. You see where I'm getting at. Palmer's the kind of player, he might give you a couple of more 2s and 3s in between those big hauls, but he will give you the massive hauls. Where SAKA, I don't normally see that. Now, maybe this is recency bias and I need to take the stats back to last season and have a look. But I'm sure even last season, Palmer delivered huge scores. In fact, I can almost guarantee it because I remember we all owned him for the latter part of the season where he just went on this crazy run. So should I have overlooked all of the other good stuff I said about SAKA regarding superior team, better fixtures, predicted points, and just went with Palmer? I can only judge this decision after the next 2 games. I mean, it is looking unlikely SAKA's going to match this. Palmer might not even score a goal again and still win this comfortably because SAKA still needs to score 4 goals to get close to him. And the next question is, should I override it and make this move now? Take a -4 and bring Palmer in. Regardless of the fixtures, Nottingham Forest at home and Liverpool away, he is predicted 6.58 and 4.34. Remember, he takes penalties and set pieces as well. My take on this is, no, I'm going to wait. I've committed to a plan. We've lost those 4 goals. We're not catching that 25 points back. No chance. I'm going to give SAKA the 2 games and then review it after that. For now, I'm sticking with the plan. I think SAKA's next 2 fixtures of Southampton and Bournemouth are too good. Surely he returns. We are talking about a top bracket player here. Get in the comments and let me know what you're going to do. Are you panicking? Are you going to just swap this and bring Palmer straight back in? Or are you going to stick to the plan and keep SAKA and then later on evaluate? Get in the comments and let me know. I'm intrigued to know what you're going to do. The next player I want to discuss is Ollie Watkins. At £9 million, he's a bit more tricky to get into your team. But during my wildcard process, I had him in loads of drafts. So I was quite frustrated I didn't go with him. I rate him highly. And you can see in the last game week, he's starting to get his consistency back. He got 11 points, a goal, an assist, and 2 bonus points. The only alarming part is he only had 1 shot, which is nowhere near good enough for a striker of his caliber. XG, as you can see, is 0.40, nothing special there. Fixtures are excellent. Manchester United at home is a good game. I know they still carry the name, they're a heavyweight team. Well, unfortunately at the moment, they're not playing like one. And in fact, official FPL, you need to change them to a green on the FDR, followed by Fulham away, which is another good fixture for Watkins. His predicted points are 4.89 and 4.46. I think he surpasses both of those predicted points. His shot ratio is at 31 minutes at the moment, which isn't that great. The top players are between 18 to 25, but that has been impacted because at the start of the season, he wasn't playing as much minutes as he is now. He's definitely goal hungry. He's had 14 attempts already this season. And the consistency is what really attracts me to Watkins. He's already had 4 returns in a row. And when you saw last season, once he got going, every week he returned. Similar how I spoke about SAKA earlier on, 6 to 9 points. This is the striker version, but it's not a transfer I need to do now. It's something I'm just looking forward. Like I said earlier on our wildcards, we'd like to think our team is steady for the next couple of game weeks at least. So I think we need to hold fire before making any moves. Don't make transfers yet. We have midweek fixtures. As you can see, it's a full schedule. Loads of our players will be involved. You've got Champions League, Europa League, Europa Conference League, and the English League Cup, which is the Carabao Cup. Newcastle playing there, Chelsea playing there, you got Manchester United, Tottenham, Arsenal versus PSG, for example. There's only so much rotation Arteta can do. PSG is a big team, big game. You're going to have to play a strong team and show a good account of yourself. So players like Gabriel, Saliba, Raya, Saka, all the big guns will be playing. So if any of them got injured, that could be your transfer. So definitely wait. I would not go early. As much as we're frustrated with our wildcard, frustrated with some of our players that look like they're stinking up the place, we have to wait. Wait until after these fixtures are done. Then after that, you can assess and see if you want to make a move. I hope you enjoyed the video, but more importantly, I hope you found the video useful. Get in the comments and let me know what you're doing this game week. Transfer or you rolling? Before you jump off to your next video, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe and share the video. I'm trying to reach my next milestone, which is 1,000 subscribers, and I can only do that with your help. On that note, I'm going to wish you good luck and see you on my next video.